Alrighty, so welcome everyone. We're just going to wait another minute or two for people to come on in this webinar. Hold tight and we'll get started in about 1 minute. Okay, I do want to be mindful of people's time, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome. Congratulations on your admission to Viterbi School of Engineering. My name is Julie Leggett. I am the Director for Graduate Recruitment here in the Engineering School, and just want to let you know that we're so happy and honored that you have applied and considered USC for your graduate school, and really hope that we can give you some good insight into what your student experience could be like if you do choose USC. And, we really want to give you as much information as possible about your department. So we have invited your department chair, Dr. Dasuki here. We have your advisors, and we'll also have some students to be on a panel a little bit later to share their experiences. And hopefully you get a complete picture of what it could be like when you start in the fall. Okay, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. So we are based in Southern California. Hopefully within my slides, you'll see some pictures of campus, some pictures of LA, to give you an idea of what it's like here if you haven't been here already and if you're not familiar. We are pretty centrally located in Los Angeles. We are very close to downtown, about a mile and a half, about 20 minutes to the coast, about 20 minutes to the Hollywood Hills when there's good traffic out there. But LA is a global hub for innovation. So you see on the left that we have Silicon Beach. You may be familiar with Silicon Valley up in the Bay Area where they have a lot of tech companies. But we have Silicon Beach here because a lot of tech companies have satellites here. And then we also have a lot of startups here. So it's a really good place to be for innovation. And if you're, interested in the tech industry, we have two institutes
Julie,
based.
I don't see this shared screen.
Oh no. Okay. Thank you for letting me know.
Is that correct? Others see it.
You are correct. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. We could have been going for a while. Um, but yeah, so we have two institutes here in Los Angeles. ICT is our Institute for Creative Technologies, and we also have the Information Sciences Institute. Both are under our engineering school and our research branches, doing a lot of amazing research. And so there's lots of different ways that you can get involved, and you'll be right in the midst of all this technology too. So we are just a short walk away from a lot of museums. So right across the street, there's the Natural History Museum, the California Science Museum. There's also our Coliseum that we play football. And then you see how close we are to downtown. So just a short bus ride away is LA Live and the Disney Concert Hall. There's also a lot of places to explore, like Chinatown and Little Tokyo. So lots of places that are pretty popular that you'll have a chance to visit. And then within 15 miles, we mentioned Santa Monica Pier. That's a pretty big highlight, Hollywood and Universal Studios, some amazing trails over there at Griffith Park. So we really encourage you to take advantage of all that is Los Angeles. It's a great place if you like the outdoors, if you like to be outdoors. The climate's pretty amazing here. So when we talk to students, the weather and the location is a big part of why they make their decision, but they often tell us it's about the career opportunities. And so I really want to highlight our Viterbi Career Connections. So this is a office that is centered right in the engineering school, and it is for you to take advantage of resources specifically for engineers. So you will have access to USC's Career Center that services all USC students, but then you also have access to Viterbi Career Connections that is specifically for engineering students. So they put on expos both in the fall and the spring so that you have an opportunity to connect with employers that come to campus in a big fair type of event. They also do specific Trojan Talks, which are really like info sessions on a smaller scale. They do mock interviews with students, so you get to hear right from the recruiter's mouths, what they're looking for. They can help you with your resume and your cover letter. You can also visit locations that are nearby. We mentioned how close all these tech companies are to our campus. And then there's lots of just resources with our career connections that you can do some career exploration. If you need help negotiating an offer, we highly recommend that you take advantage of all these really fantastic resources. More about our career connections. So you can see some impressive stats here. Over 19,000 jobs are posted specifically for our engineering students. Over 200 employers come and recruit at our expos. And Graduate Student Career Readiness Week is the very first week of classes. And so we want to make sure that our graduate students are ready. Right from the beginning, because our Career Expo takes place within the first month of school. So we're going to make sure that your cover letter is ready, that your pitch is ready, and that you have the best chance to secure an internship for yourself. We have Get Hired series, networking events. Networking is a big part of the USC Trojan family. We really have a big strong Trojan network you may have heard, and it's really for you to take advantage of. Um, Networking with our alumni, I feel like that is going to be a big resource for you, and there's lots of opportunities for you to do that. Also, way to build community is with your current students, your current colleagues. So, getting involved on campus is a great way to get to know fellow students who are going to be the future leaders in these big companies. So, getting involved in culture events on campus, attending seminars where you get to hear from really distinguished speakers like the CEO of Uber. If you have an entrepreneurial spirit, you can get involved in our Viterbi Startup Garage. If you like to plan events, you like to be the event planner. If you want to advocate for your fellow students, you might want to join the Viterbi Graduate Student Association. It's the largest student organization on campus. So our engineering students have a pretty big presence on campus. All of these activities, we have activities every single day that you can get involved with, are going to be available on Engage SC. So that is an app where all the events are posted. You'll always find a free meal somewhere on campus. That's a great resource for you. Highly encourage you to really get into the tradition and pomp and circumstance of USC. We are a school that's very rich on tradition, and highly encourage you to attend a tailgate, a football game, even if you're not really into sports. They're pretty amazing to feel the spirit of USC. Attend a basketball game. Also, there's hackathons and student competitions for you to get involved in. We understand that engineering is typically a rigorous academic course for students, and so wellness is going to be a priority, and we have a lot of wellness activities and resources for you to prioritize your wellness. So definitely get involved while you're here at USC. And the sooner that you submit your statement of intent, the sooner that you have access to a lot of resources. So we have pre-orientation resources that help you navigate our health centers, our gyms, our wellness resources, safety resources, housing resources. You can also join our mentorship program where you get paired up with a student who's been here and knows what it's like to, be brand new and trying to navigate USC. You can connect with your academic department, like in webinars like this. I think there might be another webinar in July that's going to give you more information about registration and what to expect for orientation and what to expect during your first semester here at USC. Um, and if you're an international student, the sooner you submit your statement of intent, the sooner you can request your I-20 and start the visa process. So we know that that can take a while, and so we really do encourage you to do that as soon as you can. Um, Most of you will have an April 15th deadline to submit your statement of intent, which is right around the corner, but you'll want to check. Some of you might have different deadlines. So the way that you check that is in your USC portal. You will go through the motions, click the button that says, yes, I'm ready to submit my statement of intent, and the drop down should have a date for you, and that is going to be your deadline. For most of you, it will be April 15th. Some of you might have a different deadline, so please pay close attention to that. If you are an international student, you'll want to submit your documents, your financial documents in Trojan International. This is a different system than your statement of intent. But again, we want you to do that as soon as possible so that you can start that I-20 process. And if you are excited and you know that USC is going to be the right school for you, we definitely have some additional webinars. You can chat with our current students during coffee chats. You can take a virtual tour of campus, explore our student organizations. We have over 1,000 student organizations on campus, and I believe over 100 just in our engineering school alone. So you can do things that are very related to engineering, but you can also do things that are more fun and recreational. And all of these resources you can learn about if you scan that QR code there on your right. And I think this is my last slide. So if you would like to chat with a student ambassador, sometimes it's good to talk to a current student and ask them your questions, ask them about their courses, ask them about life here in Los Angeles. We have about 25 ambassadors who would love to give you advice and love to, help you with your questions. They have definitely been where you've been and know all the different factors that help to make their decision. They know that that can be valuable advice for you too. On our ambassador site, we have filters, so you can filter by discipline. And so if you're looking for someone that is studying what you're studying and you have a specific question for them, you can filter by that. You can also filter by hometown if you want to try to find someone from your hometown. You can do that too. So highly encourage you to talk to our ambassadors. I know some of them are going to be here on the panel today too. But if you think of anything later on that you want to ask them, they're there for you too. And if you think of anything later on that you have a question, please contact us. We're here to help answer questions and just help you make the best choice that you can for your graduate degree. Okay, I think that is it for me. I am going to pass things on to your department. So, Professor Dasuki, I'll hand it over to you.
Thank you, Julie. David, do we got our slides up? There we go. Here we go. So as Julie mentioned, I'm Professor Dasuki. I've been at USC since 1993. So besides being an expert in my field of study, I'm an expert in the field of LA. I love the city. It's a great place to live and everything. Along with me today is also three of our graduate advisors. We have David Ho, who's actually the Director of Student Services at USC, not USC, but within the ISC department. And he has two of his direct reports here today. Alexandra, who is basically does all the master's advising except the analytics program. And then you have Tiffany, who does exclusively the analytics program. And as I go deeper, you'll understand why we have the division as we go. David, you want to pass on to the next slide, please? So we're the oldest private university in the Western United States, founded in 1880. Our student demographics are basically 50% undergraduate, 50% graduate students. And then that gives you a sense of how big our faculty are. And of course, as Julie mentioned, we're located in Los Angeles. Next slide, please. So as I said, these are the advisors that are here today. I introduced them. There's a picture of them here, and they give you specifically what they do. Although we divide the labor into these different programs, we basically have an open door policy. If you have a question and the advisor, let's say Alex, is not there, and you're doing the MSIE, I'm sure you can step into David's office or even my office or even Tiffany's, and we'll answer the question that you have. So this division kind of facilitates, but it's not a let's say a wall barrier between the advisors and the administration. Next slide, please. So next slide. Let's go to the next slide. So in terms of the department itself, we're actually the Daniel J. Epstein Department of Industrial and System Engineering. We're actually the first named department, not just in the school, but at the university. Why does the naming matter? It matters in many ways. Besides, we're also the second named department in ISE, just the profession in the nation. And I think we lose from the first place maybe by weeks. So, but why is this naming very important? Is because we have an endowment that the naming generates. And part of that endowment goes back to supporting students' programs. And in particular, most funded research projects are typically looking for doctoral students. So if you're interested in, most of our master's students are not interested in doing research, and that's fine because it's a professional degree and that's what you want to do and move on. But there's some of you who want to do kind of a research project. Well, part of the endowment allows us to fund master's students who are interested in doing a research project with a professor. The only thing we ask is you identify the faculty member. So a lot of times what happens is a student takes a course with this professor, they like the topic, and they approach the professor afterwards and they say, can we do a research project with them under this? And the endowment allows us to do that. And in particular, I'll talk a little bit more. The endowment also lets us do a lot more. There's a separate endowment actually for the engineering management program, which allows us to do a number of activities with these programs that other programs simply cannot do. We're also a top 10 ranked ISE departments. Actually, our programs are ranked in the top 10 according to one of the top ranking services 2025 by US News World Report rankings. In terms of the size of the department, we have 22 tenured or tenure track faculty, and we have 10 teaching faculties. The main distinction between the tenured and tenure track faculty and the teaching faculty is the tenured and tenure track faculty do both teaching and research. And the teaching faculty primarily do teaching, but they do some projects with the master students. When I mean research with PhD students. So the tenure track faculty do research with PhD students. I think the teaching and also the master students, the teaching faculty exclusively do research with the master students and undergraduate students. We have two research faculty members who primarily just do research, but they sometimes occasionally do some teaching for us. And then we have appointments. We're an IC department, but we do a lot of interaction with pure science, the business school, even the planning school, and some of the faculty have joint appointments in our department. So that gives you kind of a quick, nice overview of the department. If we go through the next slide, it gives you some more data. Our largest program by far, as you see, is our master's program. We have about 200 undergrads, about 750 master's students, and 665 PhD students. In terms of our master's program, our two biggest by far, and the biggest by far, is our master's in analytics. It's roughly, it's more than half the number of total. Then the second largest is the engineering management, and ISE is also. I mean, all our programs are well enrolled, but I would say the two that you see on the left are the largest, and the others are all about even. You have the Master's in Industrial Engineering, the Master's in ORE, and the Master's in PDE and Health Systems Engineering. Now, I'm going to go in much more detail in the various programs, but let me just give you a sense of the background behind these. So if you come from an undergraduate or background under IIC, you'll kind of understand my explanation, but you don't necessarily have to have a background. So if you look at an undergraduate degree in industrial systems engineering, it's a very broad degree that has some very technical mathematical courses, some applied courses, which are focused on, like, for example, supply chain logistics, health modeling, health operations. So they're very operationally level courses. So these are the applied undergraduates. And then you have some of the, I would say, qualitative courses that focus more on like the human factors, engineering management, and so on. So our master's degree basically says, okay, you can continue this broad degree and you can move into the master's in IC, which is basically taking your undergraduate degree and just and learning the topics more at a deeper level. And that's really your master's in IC degree. Now that master's in engineering management says, okay, for those students who are really more focused more on the qualitative side, they want to move into a management degree, you're going to go into the master's in engineering management. For those who want more of the quantitative bend, we have the master's in analytics and the master's in ORE. And I'll talk about the difference between those two in a little bit. The PDE degree is another qualitative degree. So the engineering management focuses both on design and operations. The PDE degree focuses much more in the, I would say, in just the design. So if you're interested in both operations and design, engineering management. If you just want to do the design component of it, it's the PDE degree, the product development engineering degree. Now the HSME degree is the health systems management engineering degree. And basically the easy way to think about that is it's the ISE degree focused strictly on students who are interested in the health profession. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a center. And as I mentioned, you do have opportunities to do research with the faculty, and the department really has the faculty who are basically leaders in all these centers. METRANS is the one I'm involved in. In fact, we have a major conference going on this week here in LA. It's basically a transport center on urban transportation, focusing on both freight and passenger transportation systems. I could spend the next hour talking about it, but I won't, so I'll stop there. We have the Center for Risk and Economic Analysis of Threats and Emergencies. It was actually the first Department of Homeland Security Center funded, and it was funded here at USC. Meta Corporation gives us a gift each year to run a center on both research and education, AI and learning. All the directors of those centers are faculty members in our department. There's a recent gift given by Capital One to develop a center for responsible AI and decision making in finance. We have a center for advanced manufacturing, and we have a center for AI in society. So it's a very well-funded department and has a lot of research activity going on. Not that you have to be interested in research to pursue a master's. In fact, I would say a good number, like 80%, don't get involved in it. But the opportunity is there if you want to get involved in it. That's the key. Next slide, please. So the question is, what is the difference between these degrees? So I kind of alluded to it initially. I kind of went by fast, but let's go a little bit deeper. So the thing you see, the computer screen there means the program's available on DEN. Julie, are you going to go back and talk about DEN, or you want me to spend a few minutes talking about DEN?
I wasn't planning on talking about DEN.
Okay, so basically all our programs you could take online, and it's synchronous online. Like a lot of the online programs are asynchronous. Ours is a synchronous online system. And really, I don't have to put this on every slide because every one of our master's programs, you could have the online option, except for the certificate program. So I'll first talk about the master's in analytics degree. So really, this is a program that's for students who are interested in data science and analytics. And our degree, although we touch on data science, it's not strictly data science. We view analytics broader than just data science. Analytics, it's also about decision making. So I'll show where specifically in our program where we focus on training students in using data to make decisions. That's really the way to think about. If you could still the previous slide, David, please. Thanks. So the main differentiation between this and the OR degree is this degree is focused on using data to make decisions. In the OR degree, it's a little bit more of a mathematical modeling degree. So they learn techniques on advanced machine learning. The applications they use are in business intelligence. We have some text analytics courses, generative AI courses, a lot of courses on consulting, since a lot of our students go into consulting and financial analytics. We have about 150 students a year who start this program, typically about 100 in the fall and 50 in the spring. So yes, so you can start either in the fall or the spring. We have a set of cohorts and set of the design plans for each. The students in this program come from all sorts of backgrounds, but they do tend to have some kind of mathematical background. They typically have some calculus background, probability stats, and so on. So there is some kind of interest in doing some quantitative work in this area. And as I said, they work in numerous industries: tech, banking, consulting, manufacturing, and a number of other industries, and even entertainment. Thank you, David. Can we go to the next slide? So this is the current program. In fact, we're actually in the process of making some modifications. So let me describe but they're just tweaks. They're just tweaks in the program that we have. But let me just describe the current program. So this is true for all our master's program, I believe, is that there are 28 units. Our courses are 4 units, so it means you take 7 courses to graduate. And as I said, you can see that there's the little dent screen because all the programs are involved. There's 3 required courses, and they're really the 3 core central areas in what we believe analytics. One is what we call predictive analytics. I think I was misstepping. It should be predictive analytics instead of predictive analysis. This is basically how do we use data to make prediction of future events in terms of how the data is going to look like in the future. Once you've made that prediction of the data, how is this prediction can be used to make decisions. And that's the big differentiations between, I'd say, us and the typical data sciences. We also are focused on helping you develop tools to use the output of the predictive analysis to make decisions. And this is where the course optimization methods for analytics comes in, is once you have that data, can you use it to maximize, minimize an objective function with some subject to some constraints to make a decision. So you could be used in production planning or creating a portfolio or whatever your application is. It's a quite broad tool that can be used for another. Prediction, decision making are 2 facets. The third thing is how do you retrieve and store the data? You have to become familiar with that process. You have to be able to access the data. And in fact, one of the things that most of our graduates have said is having some SQL experience was very helpful in getting their first internship. So I'll talk about how we've changed our program to get back to that as one feedback that we got from the students. If you look at the 2 different groups of electives, the way to think about it is the first group is kind of a group based on a project based, right? So these are courses that help you use the techniques you've learned to solve an important problem through a project. The other set of electives, which is the group B, is basically trying to say, is there a technique that you want to learn some more? Data mining, which is basically used a lot in business intelligence, financial analytics, design experiments, text analytics, which is mostly based on generative AI, and the 543, which is more of the cloud-based analytics course. And as we mentioned again, we are very much interested in teaching you how to use data to make decisions, and we have a course on decision analysis. So, and then you have, again, 2 courses, 8 units for free electives, and they could be part of this group A and group B. We've actually, in our new curriculum, which starts in the fall, we've expanded our number of courses that we're going to be offering. We have a time and space analytics course, which is very good for time series analysis. And one of the two changes we made in our curriculum was in the first semester, since we know the importance, is that we have developed a course which is really, I know a lot of you have Python coming in, but a course to really enforce and strengthen people's Python skills, and at the same time, get you onto SQL very early in the first semester. So that way you're prepared for your first internship in case SQL is needed. And that's one of the reasons we're kind of changing the curriculum of that. It's not official yet, but it's in the process of being approved. But regardless, the curriculum is very close to this, and it's just basically tweaked in a way. I think the benefits, in terms of the total number of units, it's the same, but they're tweaked in a way that I think it's going to get the students to learn the key skill sets sooner. Next slide, David, please. So the other end of the extreme is our Masters of Engineering Management. And again, here we have 16 years, we have in the year 4 courses that are required. What we believe is that every manager should understand statistics, using data to make decisions, especially in today's environment. We're managing projects is very important. That's why we have a required course in this. Masters in Engineering Management is how it's a degree to really prepare you for leading and managing engineering teams. And therefore, we have a course in this status. And there is no project that you will recommend to be implemented unless you can give a financial reason for it. And by ISC 561, the economic analysis of engineering projects is that. It's basically a course on how to develop a financial justification for the project you want the firm to invest in. We live in an age of technology, and so we believe that every student graduating from this program should have some background in some kind of how technology is used in society. And these are 3 different courses in that area. And then you're basically are free again to take 2 approved electives. People tend to do a specialization in this. They do either a specialization in operations, analytics, technology, or management. In fact, a number of, especially in our Masters of Engineering Management, more so than any other one of our masters, a lot of these students use these electives to go pick up a certificate at either in some other program in Viterbi or even in the business school. The Masters in Health Systems, let me get back to this after I do, let's go back and do this one last. So the Masters in Industrial Systems, remember I said you have the quantitative and then the qualitative, and this is the one that's in the middle. And I would say the most of the students who are graduating here, and that's why you see the core as is, they end up in the supply chain or logistics field. And because of that, we find out is that we have 2 required courses in that field. One is in inventory management, and one is in planning and scheduling. And then, of course, engineering project management. So these are the 3 core courses. Then building on these 3 courses, we say a graduate of this course must have some background in a quantitative skill. And these are the set of electives that are available for, I would say, to take as electives. Quality and operations is a fundamental skill set for most IEs. And these are different courses that teach that skill set: lean operations, design, experiments, and quality management, and so on. So you have a course on quality, a quantitative technique, and then you have a course on engineering management. Back to let's say the qualitative side. And these are the courses that are basically make up part of the engineering management degree. And then, of course, you have 1 free elective. So it's that program that's just in the middle. So if we go back to the health systems management course. So what we've done is basically taken those topics and basically tailored the program specifically for health systems. And we call it Health Systems Management Engineering. And these courses are kind of like a hybrid of the other courses, but all the applications they use are just health. So that way, the students that graduate, they can go straight into a healthcare organization, know the terminology, know have worked on projects, have interned, and have done, I would say, almost all their classwork using healthcare examples. This degree is, again, it's 28 units. I would say for each graduate that we have here, there's like 3 or 4 jobs. the healthcare industry really, this is new. The reason we created this degree is because this is one that was a demand from industry. And for this is kind of the ability to use IE skills to solve operational and efficiency problems in a healthcare setting is new, and the impact has been great. All our students who go in this industry have risen into the administration ranks of the healthcare industry and are doing well. This degree has a director. The analytics degree has a standalone director, and engineering management degree all have a standalone director, each with their own endowments and funding. The director of the analytics programs holds 2 events each year with alumni, with social. It's more than just a social event, of course, but it's more a chance to meet with recruiters, hear what alumni are doing. And the director of that program, I wish we had time that he could come here and speak, has done a really good job of collecting a database of graduates through LinkedIn, and he's got a good connection, and he knows. I would say we have data on 60 to 70% of the graduates, which is quite high in terms of what they've done after graduating. And they've all done very well in the analytics program because there's a strong demand for that field. In the engineering management field, we have a separate endowment again, which allows the program director to again hold 2 events, again doing the same thing for what Bruce does for the analytics program, but for the engineering. But then again, it's a different audience now, right? So the nice thing about it is we have these events that are tailored specifically for the students in the degree. Other students are welcome, but it's a way that it's focused and you can speak to the graduates who are recent in our program, what they're doing, network with them. And a lot of this times it turns into recruiting. Please, next slide. So this is the OR degree. This is, I would say, the most quantitative. This is the one that probably prepares you for the PhD degree the most because it's the most mathematical. So you get into the hard techniques. Some of these courses that you see are filtered and they're required in other programs. The difference here is that it's not like it's just 1 or 2 courses or 3 courses in this. It's a lot of courses in this domain. So you get to take courses in LP, stochastic processes, simulation. Actually, one of our more popular courses is the enterprise wide information. It's the SAP course. It's just an important skill set. I mean, in any system, you're going to have to learn how to manage to work with data. And this course actually, you get to actually use SAP. It's not just, a conceptual course. It's actually a course where you get your hands really in the nitty gritties of SAP. And then, of course, you have some of these electives. I'll stop with this one and I'll go to, I believe the last one, right? Yeah, so this is the other, I would say, qualitative course, but this is much more focused strictly on design. The engineering management is both operations and design. So you see people in engineering management matches going to consulting or working manufacturing or going to the design, and also some who have become product managers. Here is design and product managers. So you see the 2 required courses on innovation and design. Those are the 2 core courses. I'm not going to worry much about the technology specialization because that's managed by the AME department. Those who are more interested in the management specialization come through the IEC track. And again, as you see there, you see some of the intersection with the engineering management degree in the management specialization track. And then you have quite a few free electives of 8 units. Okay. So where are our students going? And next list gives you just a sampling. The key thing here, as I try to hit the different areas, as you see, there's a lot of consulting, EY, KPMG, Price, PwC. You see manufacturing, Mattel, General Mills, Boeing, and SpaceX. You'll see technology, Uber, Facebook, or Meta, as it is Apple, and so on. You see even entertainment, Disney and NBC. So they're all over the place, and they're all doing well. Our graduates, I meet with graduates each year at the alumni mixer, and I use that as a way to bring them back on board to come work with our students to to recruit them either as an internship or come speak in the classroom or even for a permanent job. And with that, I believe we are finished. David, am I correct? Aha, we are finished. I know I kind of went fast, but I was only given 20 minutes, and that's good. You don't want me to go on because if you don't put a limit on me, I can go on for an hour. So I'll stop here.
Thank you, Professor Dasuki. No, actually, I think that was the amount of detail that you went into each class, I think is actually really, really helpful for the students, and they can see, they can picture what it would be like to be in those classes and what they would actually learn on a day to, or weekly basis. So thank you so much for going through that much detail. Um, I think now, David, do you have want to lead us in maybe introducing our panelists?
Yeah, thank you, Julie, and welcome all, and congratulations on being admitted to the IC department. I am actually going to turn it over to Alex Ratana, who's actually going to lead the student panel. So thanks, Julie, and Alex, take it over.
Hi, everyone. My name is Alex. I'm the Associate Director of Student Services here. I'm going to go ahead and introduce our three student panelists. So we have Jinyi Jay, Sayali Patil, and Jinki Gong. You all can turn on your cameras. Thank you so much. Okay, so first we wanted to kind of start off with just kind of some general questions. If you could speak kind of briefly about the course rigor here and how you balance the rigor and the demands of your courses with your life outside of the classroom, just so our students can get a little insight.
Maybe I may start first. Hi guys, I'm Jinyi, and you can also call me Janie. It's my third semester here as an analytics student. So personally speaking, because we don't have so many courses, I major have 2 courses per each semester. So mainly I may use my time to find jobs or to do my personal things, like to learn more things about coding things or things that I want to enrich myself. So actually, it's kind of easy for me to balance. Because we only major have our course from Monday to Thursday and 2 hours for each day. So I may work maybe a couple of hours before I go to the class and make sure that I check all the deadlines and finish all my work on time. That's basically about my agenda. Yeah.
All right, hi everyone. I'm Jinqi. I'm a first year, second semester student in the analytics program, same as Jinyi. And I would say on average, every semester we take 2 courses, and so we have a lot of free times to apply for internships or jobs.
Hi, this is Sayali. I am doing engineering management at USC and I'm in my third semester. Life here has been pretty good. It's very important to balance having the routine. As my colleagues also mentioned that we all are having 2 courses every semester. Yeah, that's correct. But I have been taking a couple of more courses. So it's feasible to have those courses along with some research with my professor. So I think USC has to offer a lot of things to the students. It's just up to us how much we want to explore, learn, and grow. And as I'm doing my specialization in product management, I also take a couple of courses from Marshall Business School, which are the electives, and which makes me feel much more comfortable in business and startup side of the program. So yeah, along with that, I also get involved with mentorship programs. I have been mentoring a couple of mentees. I have been a part of women-specific programs like SWE, Society of Women Engineers, and Women in Engineering, WIE. Apart from that, we have Engage SC as an app. So I kind of like to mingle with a couple of friends, make new friends. So yeah, it's more of a balanced life right now. Sometimes it gets pretty hectic, but yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Thank you all so much for those answers. I'm going to go ahead and ask if you could speak on another topic. What, if anything, do you wish you would have known? Maybe in your first week or your first day of classes or when you first arrived, what might have been helpful to know that you may not have known necessarily before you started your schoolwork here?
One thing for me is networking. It's very, very important to keep networking with the peers, students, faculty, because that's when you get to know a lot of things about the course, industry overall. As Alex mentioned before as well, that we have a really, really strong alum network. So it's important to utilize that as well, at least to understand what the market is and how it looks like. That's something I think I should have done before even coming to USC or as soon as I landed in USC. So that's one thing from me.
And my suggestion is like start to apply for internships or jobs as soon as possible. I know a lot of friends they started apply for internships even before landing at USC. So start from this summer probably will be a good choice.
Yeah, I would like to say that maybe to be more arranged and maybe know more knowledge that may be helpful for preparing for applying the jobs, because study here can do help me to enrich, but if I can give more fundamental or basic knowledge before, it may help me to apply jobs much earlier. That's something that I think I need to do. Maybe go back as the first time. Yeah.
Thank you all for your answers. And I just want to point out that, it's important for international students, any international students that are coming here, to make sure you're familiar with the Office of International Services office, who can kind of provide guidance on when you may become eligible to do your internships. But definitely getting a head start in looking, as soon as you get into your coursework, that's great advice. So I'll go ahead and ask one more question, and then I'll open it up to questions from everyone else, all of our students in the webinar. How much time would you say that you all spend studying? And what does your studying look like in your program?
For me, like for the two courses, usually they're gonna have one of the homework for each course every week. So you're probably gonna spend 4 to 5 hours on one homework, so around 8 to 10 hours every week for both homeworks. So the burden is not that high. You really do have a lot of free time. For me, for the two courses, the 2 semesters right now, every course I take is like in the afternoon or at noon. So we have a lot of free time in the morning. So you really want to get up early and start applying for jobs, internships when you are fresh. Yeah.
For me, I'm kind of same as Jinqi. So it's around maybe for each day around 1 hour. So for each week is about 7 to 8 hours for working on the homework, prepare before the classes, or anything that related to classes. Yeah.
For me, it's pretty different. I actually have a lot of in-class presentations as well. So I usually need to prepare a lot before the class, as well as for the homework and assignments. And research also takes a lot of time. And I'm doing an on-campus job, so which also requires a couple of more hours to put into. But yeah, it's all about balancing and making sure that everything is aligned for where you are looking to get into.
Sorry, great. Thank you all for your answers. Julie, I don't know if you wanted to open up the Q&A and we can take a couple questions there if anyone has any further
Sure.
questions.
Yeah, so anyone can ask a question in the Q&A. We're more than happy to answer. Actually, I see a question for Professor Dasuki, a big concern with dealing with data is testing for validity and data representation. For example, how can I ensure that the data is being presented correctly? Which course has elements for testing the results of the data?
No, that's going to be in both the data mining class and the 543 class. If you go back, that definitely does a lot of that. It's changing the names, but it's going to be the cloud computing class
Thank you.
or cloud analytics. You will get that what you mentioned a lot in the 543 class, some in the 535 class, and definitely some in the required new beginning freshman, not freshman, but the first core class.
Okay, and I see a question about Ding Xin, I think I can type your answer. I can reply to you. Austin, where can I find the deadline for submitting a decision for the program? I'm still getting my employer's funding approval. So your deadline is going to be in your USC portal. It's YOUSC. And you're going to see your statement of intent, and it's going to say, yes, I want to submit my statement of intent, and you click that button. Then a drop down appears, and you'll have the date that your deadline to submit your statement of intent. For most people, it's going to be April 15th, but you'll want to check yours. And if you have any problems with that date, you think you might need more time, please contact our office and we'll help you out. But maybe for our students that are here, maybe you can talk about a highlight or a success story or something that you've enjoyed so far.
Yeah, I would like to just narrate a story quickly. So, I've been taking one of the Marshall courses, and it's more about business and startup oriented. So, me and along with me, there are two of my friends. We were working on a product, and that product actually went from just the basic idea to a prototype, and it got selected into MFC. It is one of the competition that happens at USC. It's a Mean Family Challenge where there are a couple of prizes and 50,000 grand prize for actually to work on that as a startup and build and bring that into the industry. So that is something that I've been working along with my coursework. It is so exciting to find such mentors at USC who helps you to start with one idea and then convert it into a complete new product. So that's something it's been a highlight in my this semester. I'm really enjoying it, and I won't say it is a success story as such, but it's something that I've been learning and growing with. Yeah.
Dinty, do you also have
Yeah.
something you want to share? Go ahead.
Oh, just to answer the question. I saw a question. Austin's question is asking
Oh, sure.
Yeah. What if any tools programs should I brush up on for courses in IAC? In the analytics program, we mainly use Python, SQL, and Tableau for data visualizations, and it will be good if you have previous knowledge on them. But we still have courses to teach you from the beginning, but we're not gonna spend a whole semester on it. So probably 2 weeks, 3 weeks for the basic knowledge. So if you have time in the summer or right now, it's better for you to build some foundations on Python, SQL, and Tableau. Yeah, it will be a plus for you in the program.
That's a really great question that Austin had. So I'm glad that he asked it because I'm sure that everyone can brush up on their skills to make them, hit the ground running right from day one. So thank you for also sharing the answers to that, didn't she?
No problem.
I don't see any other questions, but I think a lot of students, when they first come, are interested and concerned about where to find housing. Can you share how you navigated that process, where you looked for housing, how you found your housing?
Um, for housing, yeah, I found it before I came here. Currently, I live in the DPS zone, and I would say I take huge advantage of the free lift program. I take free lifts every day. So if you live in the DPS and you must take the advantage of it. And I live in 5B, 4B, so I have 4 roommates, and 2 of them are from Viterbi program and graduate students as myself, and 2 more they are local students. They're undergrad students and local students. Yeah. And normally for graduate student, I think most of my friends, they kind of live in a private room and with a private bathroom or a shared bathroom. But mostly my friends, I think they live in a private room. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think when I started searching for the housing, it was pretty tricky, considering there are a lot of scammers that are there on the groups. So it's very important to be aware of those situations. But we started with the Facebook groups. There are a lot of Facebook groups available where you can find a couple of leads around the USC campus. It is for the off-campus housing, of course. So you can also have a WhatsApp groups where you can get some leads on where exactly you can stay, and make sure you have Google Maps whenever you are searching for houses, how far it is from your college building, and so that you can navigate and make sure that you are landing in a good position. When I joined USC, I actually had a couple of like 3 to 4 of my friends. We just decided to combinedly search and get one apartment together. That's how it worked for me, but then I switched to another one. It's basically when once you start living here, staying here, you can actually explore the place and find out the one which is pretty much good according to your needs. And on campus housing is also really really good. So if you are considering that, I think there are a couple of forms that you need to fill in, but it is very much nearby to the college. It's very safe, and all the societies here are almost all of them are all gated, and there is much more security that's available. So just make sure you can go to Facebook or WhatsApp groups and start searching for them as early as you can.
Yeah, for me, I found my houses by the agent Common Housing. So there are kind of 2 major agents that I know are Triple Links and Moon Housings. They have a lot of house that is inside the DPS area or nearby. So I'm currently living in a 3B houses nearby the DPS area, but also I can use free lift if I need it because it's kind of close to this area. And for some of my friends, they want more private places or more new facilities. They may go to downtown LA and find a website from the from their like formal website to find their houses based on the Google Maps and based on the areas that they are searching for. So yeah, that's basically 2 of the things that I've used to help me to find housing.
Thank
Yeah, I think.
you. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. Just one of the biggest factor you need to consider is you want to walk to school every day or just drive to school. So yeah, that's the thing you need to work on. If you live in the DPS, mostly you can walk to school every day. But if you live in downtown or K-town, you must have a car.
That's absolutely right. I think, I usually recommend to first year students try to live as close to campus as you can so that it's walkable because there's always free food, free events, free concerts that you just want to be a short walk to campus. But maybe in your second year, if you want to move to K-Town, I think that is more centrally located in Los Angeles, kind of a fun spot for students. Also, like living by we do have a metro rail, so if you wanted to live, I don't know, like Culver City or Pasadena, that can be a little bit further, but easy by rail. That's definitely an option too. But first year, I would say close to campus is going to be better for you, to build your network, to enjoy all that USC has to offer because, you're paying for much more than your classes, you're paying for the whole experience. Okay, I see 2 more questions in the Q&A. I think people are interested in knowing the rigor of the program, what tests are like. Does anyone want to answer that one?
Hi George. I don't know which program you get admitted into, like for me in an analytics program, 2 courses every week and one homework for each course every week. So two homeworks in total every week. And we have midterm exams, final exam, and normally you're gonna have a project. So that's basically the workload. Oh yeah, analytics. Yeah, if you're in analytics programs, they're kind of same to me, same as my schedule. So pretty much midterm, final, projects. Yeah, basic routine.
Okay, and I'm just looking at the time. We are about time. So I want to say thank you to our panelists, thank you to our ISE department, and thank you to our attendees that have joined us today. We hope that you have a better insight to USC and the department, and you feel more prepared to make your decision. You hope you get some swags when you arrive. Lots of swag, lots of free food everywhere. All right. Enjoy the night. I'm going to let Alexandra finish typing her answer and we'll close it up. Thank you so much for joining. Fight on.